the level and to do it ethically. And if they're looking, if they just need a little bit of motivation, guys, this is the book. Please welcome Will Smith.
That was great. I get that a lot. My name is Will Smith. Of course, you know this. Eli did a great job explaining my story. I don't really know what else to say, but I'll kind of add on to that for everyone. He's right. Everybody in life goes through a hard time. If you don't go through a hard time in life, then you're really not learning anything. And we have to take our pitfalls as they come. We have our peaks and we have our valleys. It's kind of like the yin and the yang. You can't understand success unless you've had failure. And generally, a lot of us have a lot of failure before we hit success. And we can't let our circumstance or our situation control who we are. I could have balled up and said, you know what, I give up, but I didn't. I fought. I was in a corner. I was in a prison cell. And I had to fight my way out. And nobody wants to believe someone that's been convicted, because everybody thinks the law is perfect, and if you've been convicted, then that's what you did. It's not true. There's a lot of innocent people in prison right now that shouldn't be. But they didn't have anyone to help them, and they didn't have the tenacity to work their way out. Well, I did, because I wasn't going to let that situation control who I was. I knew who I was. I knew I was innocent. I knew what I needed to do to get out. It took a while, but I had patience, because nothing comes overnight. It took me 10 years to write the first book, to share my story. Everybody asked me, Will, how did you do it? How did you go from there? I got so tired of explaining it, I was like, well, let me write a book. Let's call this book Ditches to Riches. So this way they can read, and I can share that story with everyone, because everyone either has going through something, is going through something, or may know someone that is going through a tough time. That's why I wrote it. I don't have a PhD. I don't have a master's degree in psychology. I'm a pilot and a business entrepreneur. So I wrote this because it was my experience, and I want to be able to help people, because in life, you're not judged about what you have, what kind of car you have, what type of boat you have, how big your house is. You're judged by who you helped when you're going through life. So when it's time for me to stand in the pearly gates, I'm going to say, this is all the people I helped. This is the people I reached out to, because that's what we are about as human beings. It's helping each other through life. Yes. That's what's important. Ditches to Riches was something I wanted to keep easy. You'll notice it's not that thick, because the material is easy to understand, easy to read. I see some books that are like this thick. I'm like, man, I'm never going to read that, nor am I going to buy it. I wanted to make it easy. I have a step-by-step plan of what I did, and this is just something I said. We all need goals in life. If you don't set a goal, then what do you have to work towards? Now, our pitfalls sometimes are ourselves, because we make excuses why we can't do this. We make excuses why we can't do that. Let's make excuses why we can do something, and stop making excuses why we cannot do something. This is part of the book. If you might know someone that's going through a lot, get the book and give it to them. Let them know, hey, this guy I met in this little corner room at Barnes & Noble's in Tampa, Florida, has been through what you're going through. I want this book to reach people that are getting out of prison, or getting out of jail, or maybe they have a drug addiction that they're overcoming. Maybe they have alcoholism that they're overcoming. Maybe they've gone through the 20-day program, the 12-step program. Maybe they're looking and say, you know what am I going to do now? I've lost everything. Maybe they went through a bad divorce. Maybe they went through a bankruptcy. Who knows? Maybe their house burnt down and they have nothing. This book I want to put in the hands of the people, because when I dedicate it, I wasn't dedicating to people that helped me through this. I'm dedicating it to the people that are going through the struggle right now today, because those are the people that need the most help. And by reaching out and lifting people up, because that's what I really believe in, let's build people up. Stop putting people down. That's negative. It's counterproductive. Always, when you see someone, a stranger, needs some help, build them up. What can I do to help you? And by putting this book in everyone's hands, I'm hoping that's what it will do. Because Eli's right, I did start out. I was sleeping on a couch. I didn't have hardly any money at all, and I was just looking for work. I can't tell you how many doors slammed in my face when they did a background check. But I didn't let that affect me, who I was, or get in the way of my goals. Because all that was is an obstacles, and obstacles can be overcome. We just have to work really, really hard. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to read this book and then a year from now you're going to be making $1 million. It took me 10 years to get here. A lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice. I worked 2 full-time jobs and put myself back through college at night full-time. So I got maybe about 5 hours of sleep, and I did that for 2 years straight. That's the sacrifice it took. I didn't go out to the clubs, I didn't drink, I didn't date, because these things are negative. So I had to focus on me. I had to focus on the positive and how I'm going to get to those goals. I hope you enjoy it. It's a great book. It inspired me while I was writing with Eli. One of it is let bygones be bygones. You have to let go of the past, people. You can't hold on to it because it's an anchor. If you keep 1 foot in yesterday and 1 foot in tomorrow, guess what happens? You wind up pissing on today, and we don't want to do that. So I'm Will Smith. I hope you enjoy my book.